Hello reader friend! Today is Friday. It's the day after Thanksgiving, and because it is Thanksgiving week, I do have a long weekend off of work. I'm not feeling super great after Thanksgiving. My stomach definitely did not like all of that. So we are going to have a very cozy, chill weekend. Since it is after Thanksgiving now, my fiance has allowed me to decorate the rest of the house for Christmas. So we're going to be doing that. And then we are also going to be baking some banana bread and reading some wintry holiday books and maybe doing some Black Friday shopping. I don't know, it depends because I don't like to go in the stores. I like to do it online. So we're gonna kind of check out what's going on. As for like right now, I do need to go to the grocery store here in a second because we're making homemade lasagna tonight and I'm very excited for that. But I have to go get the ingredients for all of that. And then I also this weekend wanted to make a lot of like, I don't know, I kind of wanted to experiment and channel like my inner barista and maybe throw together some like fun, cozy, Christmassy like warm drinks. I've been in a huge hot chocolate mood, so like a peppermint hot chocolate sounds so good. Currently, I am reading The Family Game, and I have the physical copy, but it's in the other room, so I don't want to like go get it. But I think I'm on around page 50, and I'm really enjoying it so far. His family, I mean, we've only met his sister so far, but from what I have read, they seem very like manipulative and like I don't know, like there's something off already about them, and I'm just so intrigued because it is only 50 pages in and it seems very fast-paced already and very interesting. So I'm intrigued and I'm looking forward to what happens when they all like come together for the holidays. Right now, like I said, I'm going to go to the grocery store and like run a few errands. So I just figured I would take you guys along today on my journeys until I get home and am able to like get all cozied up, you know? I don't know how well you can see this, but we're going very cozy today. I have my like nice fuzzy pants on, my long sleeve, my thrifted jacket, and of course my little slippers. But yeah, let's go to the store. So while I was at Trader Joe's, I got some like Christmassy pepperminty things. So first I got some peppermint mini marshmallows to put in my hot chocolate. And then I also got these mini peppermint meringues. Now I was gonna say that I'm not usually a meringue person, but I feel like I've never met a meringue that I didn't like. But I feel like they have to be done like this for me to like them. Like these ones are very like crunchy and just light and fluffy, which I know that's how they usually are, but sometimes they're not like dry enough. I don't know, for my liking. But these ones are so good and the peppermint makes it so yummy. And then I also already had, there it is. Okay, so I already have some cocoa powder. So I'm gonna make like homemade hot chocolate, and then I also got some like vanilla oat milk. They didn't have any peppermint cream. Well, okay, I lied. They didn't have any like dairy-free peppermint creamer like the ones I usually get. So I think I'm just gonna do the vanilla oat milk and then the cocoa powder and the peppermint mini marshmallows. But even though they didn't have the peppermint one, I did get this brown sugar creamer from Trader Joe's. So I don't know, hopefully that tastes good with the peppermint marshmallows. I don't really know how like all this is gonna go together, but it all sounded really good. So we're gonna do a little bit of experimenting. Sometimes I feel like the cocoa powder doesn't mix in super well with like hot milk. So I think I might do like a tablespoon of the cocoa powder and then mix it into a tiny bit of like really, really hot water and then make it kind of like cocoa powder paste. I don't know if that makes sense, but and then I'm gonna add like the hot milk. So I don't know, we'll see how it works. Much better. Okay, now that I've let my little marshmallows kind of like seep in there for a minute, I'm going to taste my little creation. It smells really good, but I have a feeling it's not going to be as like chocolatey as I would like. I don't know, but we'll see. Yeah, it's definitely not as like rich as I would have loved, but it's still not bad because it's actually really subtle and I kind of like it. Anyway, like I was kind of saying earlier, I'm about 40, so I'm on page 46 in Family Game. So I'm going to sit right here, get all cozy, drink my homemade hot chocolate, and read a little bit of this book. I'm so excited to get back into this because I'm actually really liking it so far. Like I said before, it is very fast paced and I kind of feel like you get right into things. Like I feel like this author doesn't do a lot of like filler pages, so to say. She just kind of like gets right to the point and I love that. It's hot over here. I think it's actually really funny that I'm reading this right now because the day that's on this chapter, it's literally today's date. Like Thursday, well not Thursday, it's Friday, November 24th. So that's literally so funny and so crazy that I'm literally reading the day that is today. I'm literally just now starting the chapter and it's literally called The Game Begins. I'm so nervous but so excited. I'm loving this book so far. It's so much fun and it's so like this family just seems so, what is that word I'm trying to think of? I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of right now, but like you just don't know what's unpredictable. They are so unpredictable. Like you literally don't know what someone says like means or like how they're meaning it or like, it's just like, I don't even know. My brain is just like trying to keep up with like what the heck is going on. And I'm only on page 67. Hello friends. I started my period earlier today, so I've been in bed like all day just feeling like I'm dying. And my brain for some reason has just not let me like focus on a book. So I've been like looking things up and like switching TV channels and like, I don't know. I've just been kind of all over the place today, but I did get like somewhat more of the way through The Family Game. I'm on page 118 now. So she hasn't listened to the tape that her fiance's father has given her yet, which is, it's on the synopsis, so it's not a spoiler. But still quite a bit is kind of going on. Like their family is kind of trying to like get to know her more and also like in a way showing her like the power that they have. And like, I don't know, it's a very weird, like I don't know how to feel about the family yet because like sometimes they act nice, but then other times you're like, okay, but what are your like motives, you know? So I don't know. It's very like confusing on my brain, which is why I'm having such a good time with it. So I'm going to try and get another big chunk of the way in tonight because it is only about 6 p.m. So I've got a couple hours until I'll probably head to bed. I'm probably gonna go and make some dinner really quick, and then I really want to make another like cozy drink. I don't know if I'm gonna do another hot chocolate or if I'm gonna do some kind of like tea of some sort, but I've been really craving my cinnamon spice like London Fog type of thing that I usually get at Starbucks. So I might try and make some kind of like cinnamony tea drink of some sort. Yeah, and then I'm gonna come back, get all cozy again, and then keep reading The Family Game. Hello reader friends, it is the next day. So last night I didn't get as far as I wanted to, but I still got a little bit of a way in. So now I'm on page 184 in The Family Game. And still very much enjoying it. It is still pretty fast paced, but I did kind of notice that I wasn't as like excited to like keep picking it up. You know, like I feel like I just kept getting kind of distracted. Like I would check my phone a few times or like, you know, just get distracted. Like I wasn't like completely invested in the story. There was one part of the story, like we just got past like a really interesting part, but now that that part is over, I just kind of not lost interest, but like I just wasn't, again, as like excited to stay in it. But I am am past the halfway point, so I only have about 120 something pages left of the book. So not very much, which I'm really excited about because I feel like it's going to start getting pretty intense soon. I really like our main character. Honestly, her fiance, I like her fiance, but I don't know. He seems a tiny bit suspicious. And I from reading a lot of thrillers, I always know that the person that you usually trust most usually isn't always super trustworthy. So I don't know. I have my suspicions about him, even though like there hasn't been any indication that there's anything suspicious about him. But it's a very nice day out today, so I think that I'm going to go to Barnes & Noble. Today is the last day to get extra points for Black Friday, technically. So I'm trying to utilize that while it's here. So we're gonna go do that. And then I might go to half price books as well. It just depends on like what I find at Barnes & Noble. Wait, I actually lied. I think I'm going to go to half price books first because I do need to do a little book unhaul. So all the ones I'm unhauling are The Land of Stories, Thinking Fast and Slow, Where the Mountain Meets the Moon, Lock the Doors, 14 Ways to Die, The Woman in Cabin 10, this one with a very long title, Normal People, and these next three, well, okay, these next two are like two of my favorite books. Like I really enjoyed these books, but I just want to get the paperback versions of them, and that is The Maid and the Love Hypothesis. And then the last one I have is Killers of a Certain Age. This one I actually got on audiobook, so I just don't think I'm going to read the hardback of it. So those are the ones that I'm unhauling. I don't know, I might look through my shelves again and see if there's anything else I need to take, but for now that's all I have. So yeah, I'm gonna go to half price books, take those, and then whatever money I get from those I'm going to use at Barnes & Noble or at half price if I find anything good. Okay, let's go. Hello friends! I'm back from my little Barnes & Noble excursion. I was there for so long. Well actually, first I went to half price books and then I went to Barnes & Noble because I did do my little book unhaul and then I got like 20 bucks from there that I used at Barnes & Noble. So what I got. I'm usually not a James Patterson girly, but I've honestly never read his work at all actually, so I'm very interested to get into that. But I've had this one on my TBR. I think it just recently came out and it was 50% off. So you guys know this, I am not a hardback girly either, but I have actually been really wanting to read this book and it has pretty good reviews and it sounds really interesting, so I just got it because it was 50% off. And I've also had my eyeballs on these two books for a while, but I also got Cinder and The Prison Healer. I've been literally ever since this morning, I've been in a fairy tale retelling mood. So I found one at half price books. I ended up putting those two books that I was looking at half price books on hold because I wanted to wait and see what I found at Barnes & Noble, but I think I'm gonna go back and get the fairy tale retelling one. I forgot what it was called. But anyway, so yeah, this is what I got. This one I have heard a lot of really good things about, and it's been on my TBR for a very long time. And I think Sarah Caroli recently read this and like loved the series, so I really didn't need more convincing. But her video where she talked about it was kind of what convinced me to just buy it. And then Cinder, yes, I've had it on my TBR for a very long time. I thought that today was just the day to pull the trigger and grab it. So yeah, these are the fun little things I got today. I was at Barnes & Noble, like I said, for a very long time, so I ended up actually having a panic attack. As one does in Barnes & Noble often. And I started feeling like really sick from that, so I left and took some medicine, and now I'm home, and now I'm kind of just de-thawing and letting my body like exit from my fight or flight mode. So I'm gonna try and chill out for a little bit and probably have a snack or some tea or just something to settle my stomach. And then I'm going to pick up the family game and hopefully finish it tonight because I really don't have that much left. I knew it. Good morning, reader friends. So last night I finished 2 books yesterday, but one of them was an audiobook and I wasn't like updating you guys through the time I was reading it. So I finished The Family Game, but I also finished An Unwanted Guest by Sherry Lapina. So I'll first get into this one because this is the one I was most excited about. So, final thoughts for this one. I think the last time I updated you guys, I was on page like 180 something. So, from there until the ending, the pace definitely like picked up again. I mean, throughout this whole book, it was never really like boring, and I feel like the pace was always pretty fast. But there was just little points in time where I was getting more like distracted than others. But also I feel like right now my brain is just in a very, very weird spot where like no matter what I read, I feel like everything is just kind of like meh. Like I feel like I'm not actually getting invested in like any stories right now. Like my brain is literally just not letting me like really get in it, you know? It's not that it's a bad book. It's just that like it's not you, it's me. And that's like literally how it is right now. Because I know if my brain like wasn't weird right now, this might be a 5-star. I don't know. I rated it a 4-star, even though my brain is in a weird spot. But anyway, getting back to my point, the pacing was pretty fast throughout the whole book, and then like towards the end more things just kind of started like getting pieced together, because the one thing I was very confused about kind of throughout this book was like why the murders were taking place, like what was the point of them. And then I started getting this idea that ended up actually being the plot twist. So like in a way I guessed the plot twist, and in a way I guessed like what really happened, but it was also just like in my brain a very like outlandish guess. Like it was like, I don't know, but like it could be this, and then it ended up being that, so that was cool. I do wish that there was more background and like explanation of like the family dynamic and like all of that, because I feel like with this book we're kind of just like thrown in at a certain point in time and we don't get like any background at all, which is kind of hard. I think maybe that's also why I wasn't like 100% invested the whole time, because I just felt like there was a lot of background information missing to like make you invested, if that makes sense. But it was still fun. It was fast paced. It was set in a time span between Thanksgiving and Christmas, so it's a very like holiday based book. I really liked the main character. I ended up actually liking the family. I just, like I said, wish I got more like background to like the characters and stuff. But yes, I gave it a 4-star. I didn't love it as much as I I, in my heart, wanted this to be a 5-star, and like going into it, I was like, ooh, I feel like this might be a 5-star, but it wasn't. But it was close. Like, it was still really enjoyable for me. So anyway, that is The Family Game, and then going back into An Unwanted Guest. So this one I started listening to on audiobook a couple days ago, and if you didn't see my like winter TBR slash like book recommendations video, this was also in that one, and I kind of explained like what it's about, but I'll re-go over it really quick. So in this book, there's like a group of people all disconnected staying at this inn for a weekend, and then like a huge snowstorm hits, so they get like trapped in this inn, and then people start to like get killed off one by one. So it's pretty much just like figuring out who the killer is. This book I gave a 2.5 star, I think. Maybe a 2.75, I can't remember. In that area of rating. And that is because my first issue was we are following every single character. I think there's like over 8 characters, and we are following every single one of them, but in a third person POV. So we're never actually like in the point of view of like any one person. I just don't like when books are written like that. I feel like I never get invested in them, and I feel like it's really hard for me to connect to the characters that way. So that was just my first like feeling about the book. And then I just feel like this book was extremely slow. Like, if you are a beginner mystery thriller reader and you don't want anything that's really dark and twisty, like, I think this might be perfect for you, honestly, because it's very slow paced, and like it's more just following like people's actions and like feelings, trying to figure out like who did it. I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but I just don't feel like there was anything very memorable about this book. There was nothing that really like super intrigued me. Like, the characters weren't very, I mean, they were like likable, but I didn't really care about them, especially because we were never in the POV of, like I said, any one person. The atmosphere was nice, and like the whole kind of deserted motel hotel, but like snowed in vibes, wintry vibes, like those were really nice and cozy and fun, and I liked that. But it just like going into it, I thought this was going to be a more like fast-paced whodunit type of deal, and it just wasn't that. It was more just like a very, very subtle mystery. So again, if you're like just getting into mystery thrillers and you don't want anything super crazy, then I think this might be perfect for you. But for me, a person who reads a lot of like mystery and thrillers, it didn't work for me, but I didn't hate it. So like, I don't know. So those are the 2 books that I just finished. So now with those done, I think I'm going to pick up Holiday Romance next. This was also one of the ones that was on my winter TBR like video. So this one follows 2 main characters, and I think every year they like fly home, or they fly somewhere for Christmas, but they have like different families, so they just always like meet at the airport kind of and like sit by each other on this flight home. But this year there's a big snowstorm and all the flights are either delayed or canceled, so she is, instead of like doing her own thing for Christmas, she's determined to help him get home for Christmas, because she doesn't really care much about the holidays and he's very like holiday spirited. So yeah, it just like works out. But this one sounds very fun, and I've heard this writing reminds people of Emily Henry, and I haven't read Emily Henry yet, but I'm kind of like in the mood for that type of rom-com-y, funny, cute vibe. So this is what we're starting today. I do have to run a couple errands here in a little bit, so I'm gonna try and knock out a chunk of this before I do that. And then later we are going to paint a cute little like Christmassy canvas for my fireplace, like above the fireplace in my living room. And then later we are going to see The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which I'm so excited about. So we have a really fun day ahead of us. Oh my gosh. I'm literally only 30 pages into this book right now, and it's so funny, and I'm having such a good time. Like, I know I just said that like my brain wasn't really having a good time with like books right now, but I think I just needed something really light and fluffy and funny, and something that does not use much brain power, because I'm thoroughly enjoying myself with this one. Hello friends. So I went to Barnes & Noble and had a little like reading session today, because I for some reason just cannot like sit down and just focus on a book at my house. But I am now on page 165, so I'm on chapter 15. I'm about like, I think it's almost halfway through, and I am just freaking eating this book up. I love it so much. Like, this honestly has the potential to become like one of my favorite books of the year. Granted, I haven't read a lot of rom-coms, but just the freaking banter, like them together is my favorite thing. This is making me absolutely love Friends to Lovers because I just love like the background and like the dynamic that they have before they realize that they actually really like each other. And I did not expect to also get some like life lessons, I guess, in this book. I don't think this is gonna be much of a spoiler, so to say, but she is kind of just not like happy with her job and like where she's at with her life. So she's like contemplating just like switching a busy life for a more like full life. Like she's just wanting to like change things up because she's not very like happy. And I just like felt that so hard. Granted, I'm in my 20s and I'm going to feel chaotic and lost and just all over the place, but lately I have just really been questioning my career and my day-to-day life and just asking myself like, am I happy with like where I'm at and what I'm doing? And as much as I do like my day-to-day job and like what I do, because I mean I'm a content creator pretty much for my day-to-day job, but I'm just not totally happy with the fact that I'm a content creator just for like company, if that makes sense. Like I don't get any fulfillment out of the content that I am creating versus like when I do YouTube and like my bookstagram and all that stuff, like it fills my cup. And like I really want to start to transition into doing like this content creation more full time. So I don't know, just like the whole conversation between Molly and like one of her best friends, just when I read that, it just like really hit. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so sweet and something that I feel like so many people go through in life. So I don't know, that was just like a really cool little part in this book. Like I feel like it's more than just a rom-com, and I actually love these characters so much. So I have some other things to do today, so I'm probably gonna take a break from reading for a little bit, and then I'm going to hopefully hop back into it later. Hello, my sweet reading friends. I just woke up like 25 minutes ago, so there's that. But I finally finished Holiday Romance and I loved this book so much. I've never really read like a holiday themed rom-com, but I think I started off with the best one because this was literally so adorable and I just love Molly and Andrew so much. And the story, like there's obviously that one little like hiccup where things kind of get weird and sad and like confusing, but I never felt like there was like a point where it like really dropped off and got like there was no betrayal or there was no breakups technically. Like it was just always fun and good and cute, and I just loved it so much. There's really nothing else to say about it besides that. Like if you haven't read this and you want like a cute Christmassy rom-com, pick this up because it is mwah. I give this one 5 stars. Honestly, I would probably give it 6 stars if I could. Honestly, the 2 books that I've read in December have both nearly been 5 stars. Well, this one is 5 stars, and the other one I just finished was like a 4. But so far, I've had a pretty good reading month. I'm so behind on my reading because I've just been spending so much time like filming and editing and doing other stuff for Bookmas, and it's just been it's been nuts. So this vlog was supposed to just be like a weekend or like maybe a week-long vlog, but no, it ended up being like a week and a half, nearly 2 weeks. But anyway, now that I'm done with Holiday Romance, that is the end of this vlog because I literally still have so much to read and so much to do. But as always, thank you guys so much for being here and for supporting me. I love you so much. And I'll see you in my next video, which I think might be Bookmas. So I'll see you for Bookmas. Mwah.